Mariah today. She's like, man, she said she feel better from talking to you.
For sure.
You got her in her feelings, man.
What happened?
No, I'm just saying she loves you, man.
Oh, for sure.
Like overly.
Yeah, like too much. Sometimes too much.
The first time I ever wore a dress, at that point, I didn't even know it was a dress. It wasn't a dress. One. On God. Because I know what my version of a dress is. It's kind of like a coat. When you do put on a dress, is that more for shock? No, it's just like, I wanted a cheetah print long shirt. I couldn't find one. This is the closest I'm going to get to it. It stopped me from judging people because it's like, people judge me and people say gay, but it's like, if people think that I'm gay, they already misjudge.
A lot of girls hit me up. Asia hit me up out of the blue. What was the girl with the freckles? Remember her?
Yeah, Latasha.
Yeah, she hit me up.
Look, when I come out tonight, I'm gonna call her. When I come out tonight, I'm gonna call you.
You want me to call her?
Yeah, for sure. So I want you to text her and tell her, for sure.
I just want to thank God for the day. I want to thank you for life, light, and love. I want to thank you for our family and our friends. I want to thank you for Jeff and our relationship. I want to thank you for covering us with the blood of Jesus, protecting us, keeping us safe every day. Yes! This has really been a long time coming, and it has been really hard. But I'm appreciative that you kept showing up for me and supporting me. There was people who was telling me I would never see him again. There was people who was laughing at me and laughing at the situation, making fun of us. Man, this shit so fucking crazy now. It's supposed to be a prayer. Hold on. Thank you, God. And amen. Now back to me. Who doubted me and doubted this and said this nigga was never coming back. Oh, God. What you gonna say now? Now, when I say thug, we gotta switch it up. This shit is so unbelievable. But let's just make it to the end so I can get on this. You know what I'm gonna do.
I'm the only person with me in the green, and this my folk. Like, you ain't never took no meeting without me. Like, you ain't never tried to cross me out. You ain't never did none of that. I'm gonna give you some of your masters. You see what I'm saying? I take 300 million before I take 375 million. I take 300 million and give you 75 million worth of your rights back. Cause if I sell the shit and make 375 million, I'm already thinking in my mind I got to give you the 75 million anyway. So before I do that, I ain't gonna even take the money. I'm gonna just give you 75 million. And your study growing. And you hold your for 2-3 years, you gonna get you 100 million for it. If you hold it for 2-3 more years, you gonna get you 100 million.
Himself. He can't look at himself. His conscience eating him up. He trying to pay all this money to keep this stuff out the vlogs. Keep paying the media. This what the control they have. This the control they have. Calling people, bro, don't unfollow me, bro. Nah, I mean, not right now, bro. I understand you don't mess with me, bro. But just do it in a professional way, bro. Like, come on, bro. Yeah.
Y'all, the internet is on fire after explosive prison call leaks put young Thug in a hot seat. And now Mariah the Scientist is caught in the middle of a scandal that's exposing secret affairs, loyalty tested to the max, and rumors that could rewrite everything we thought we knew about Thug. The internet is in complete meltdown after shocking prison calls from young Thug leaked online, and the fallout is nothing short of explosive. What started as a messy conversation about him, shading Kendrick Lamar and clowning Glorilla, has now spiraled into something way deeper. Something that's threatening to shatter his relationship with Mariah the Scientist and throw his entire image into question. Mariah, who's been holding him down for years through his RICO trial and public scrutiny, is suddenly blindsided by receipts she never saw coming. The leaks don't just show a man juggling side conversations with multiple women. They hint at something bigger, darker, and way more complicated. Fans are now asking the question nobody thought they'd ever have to ask. Was Mariah really competing with groupies and ex-flings? Or was she unknowingly competing with men? 2. The whispers that have followed Thug for years about his sexuality are now back, louder than ever, and the leak calls have everyone picking sides. Twitter is ablaze. TikTok is dragging Mariah's loyalty, and the gossip blogs are spinning nonstop. And in the middle of all this chaos is Mariah, the girlfriend who stood 10 toes down, suddenly painted as the last to know, left humiliated in front of millions. When it comes to loyalty, Mariah the Scientist has practically been the blueprint. From the day young Thug got wrapped up in his RICO case, she was right there, sitting in courtrooms, showing up for visits, and making it clear to the world that no amount of scandal was going to shake her commitment. While critics told her she was wasting her time, she doubled down. While fans mocked her for attaching herself to a man facing years behind bars, she posted about love, resilience, and standing by her man. She even wove her feelings into her music, dropping emotional performances that felt like open love letters to him. For 2 years straight, she became the definition of a ride or die, the girlfriend who proved she was down for Thug, even when the rest of the industry was quietly distancing themselves. To many, it looked like devotion. To Mariah, it was loyalty. But then the leaked prison calls changed everything. Out of Thug's own mouth came a confession that had fans clutching their pearls. He bragged about chatting with 10 different women every single day behind bars. 10, y'all. And the worst part? He wasn't embarrassed. He didn't sound guilty. He laughed about it like it was a running joke, part of his daily routine in jail. To the internet, it was more than just shady. It was humiliating for Mariah. Because while she was pouring her heart into this relationship, waiting for him, protecting his name, and centering her brand around being loyal, Thug was treating her like just one option on a never-ending roster. Fans instantly felt the sting on her behalf. Social media erupted with reactions that were equal parts shock, outrage, and pity. People flooded timelines with memes about being more loyal to their situationships than Mariah was to Thug. Twitter threads dissected how she gave her all while he gave her scraps. And TikToks mocked her devotion, painting her as the last to realize she was in a one-sided relationship. The imbalance was crystal clear. She was holding it down like a wife, and he was laughing about entertaining an entire lineup while locked up. For Mariah, the image of being the ultimate ride or die suddenly flipped from admirable to humiliating. What once made her look strong, now made her look played. And that's when the internet started asking the hard questions. How long had she been loyal to someone who was never loyal to her? As if the cheating rumors weren't messy enough, the leaks took a sharp turn when fans noticed something strange about the prison calls. It wasn't just the conversations with women that raised eyebrows. It was the long, drawn-out calls with his boys that had the internet doing double takes. The tone was playful, the nicknames a little too sweet, and the energy didn't exactly scream, just homies chopping it up. Hours on the phone, laughing, joking, even dropping pet names. It all sounded way more intimate than casual jail talk. And that's when old whispers about young Thug's sexuality came roaring back into the spotlight. This isn't brand new speculation. For years, Thug has been blurring the lines between masculine and feminine, keeping people guessing about where he stands. From rocking a full-on purple dress on the Jeffrey album cover to casually calling his male friends bae and lover on social media, he's always left breadcrumbs that fueled rumors. Back then, fans chalked it up to him being eccentric, pushing fashion boundaries, or trolling for attention. But now, with these prison calls leaking, what once felt like harmless antics suddenly looks like part of a bigger puzzle. The internet wasted no time piecing it together. Some fans replayed the leaked audio over and over, analyzing every laugh, every pause, every playful tone, as if they were decoding hidden messages. The more people listened, the more convinced they became that Mariah wasn't just competing with other women. She might have been competing with men, too. And the receipts weren't limited to phone calls. The conversation stretched back years. His refusal to ever fully address the speculation in interviews, his habit of dismissing questions with a laugh or a shrug, and his insistence that my personal life is my personal life. All of it, combined with the new leaks, started to feel less like coincidence and more like confirmation. For longtime fans, this wasn't a shocking revelation. It was the missing link that tied everything together. The dresses, the pet names, the flamboyant fashion, the playful interviews. They weren't random quirks, they were patterns. Patterns that suddenly looked like clues we ignored in plain sight. And now, with Thug's own words floating around the internet, the whispers about his sexuality are no longer whispers. They're a full-blown debate, splitting the music world in half. Was Thug just playing around with boundaries all these years, or was he quietly living a double life that Mariah, the loyal girlfriend, never even saw coming? The internet did what it always does and turned the whole situation into a circus. TikTok flooded with skits and memes mocking Mariah, painting her as the girlfriend who held it down for nothing. One viral video showed a girl waiting outside a jail with flowers, only for her man to step out surrounded by 10 other women. The caption? Mariah logging off Instagram today. Twitter wasn't any kinder. Entire threads dragged her decision to stay loyal, with users asking, why would a rising R&B star tie herself to a man facing decades in prison, only to get played this bad? Another post with over 1 million views flat out called her the biggest clown in the industry right now. But the real gasoline on the fire came straight from Thug himself. In one of the leaked calls, after being pressed about Mariah's loyalty, he brushed it off with a cold, dismissive line, "Man, she ain't going nowhere. She loves me too much." That single sentence hit harder than the cheating allegations. Because it wasn't just disrespectful, it showed the imbalance that fans have been screaming about. To him, Mariah's devotion wasn't admirable, it was leverage. It was a guarantee. He saw her loyalty not as love, but as power over her. That's when the tone online shifted from laughter to outrage. People weren't just clowning Mariah anymore. They were dragging Thug for taking her for granted. TikTok stitched his quote over clips of women crying to sad songs, sarcastically captioned, "Find you a man who loves you like Thug loves Mariah." Comment sections filled up with fans saying she deserved better, that her career was too promising to be tied to someone who clearly didn't value her. Some even compared her to Cassie, staying loyal to Diddy for years only to walk away humiliated. The more the clip spread, the more Thug's own words came back to haunt him. Because in the court of public opinion, it wasn't just about cheating anymore. It was about arrogance, entitlement, and the casual way he dismissed a woman who gave him everything. Just when it seemed like the drama couldn't get any messier, the leaks dropped a twist that turned this scandal from personal betrayal into an industry-wide nightmare. In one of the calls, while clapping back at fans and trying to defend his own name, young Thug allegedly crossed a line no one saw coming. He started outing other Atlanta rappers. That's right, instead of shutting down the speculation about his own love life, Thug allegedly doubled down and dragged others into the mud, hinting that he wasn't the only one living a double life. And let me tell you, the streets are buzzing. Names weren't crystal clear in the audio, but fans swear they heard certain initials, certain coded nicknames that seemed a little too specific. Twitter lit up with people connecting dots, making lists, and throwing out guesses about which ATL rappers he might have been pointing at. Overnight, it stopped being about just Thug and Mariah. It became about the entire Atlanta rap scene, with fans wondering how many of their favorite artists were hiding secrets behind closed doors. The fallout was immediate. Some fans accused Thug of being messy and desperate, saying he was willing to burn the whole house down just to deflect attention from himself. Others argued it was karma, that the same culture that laughed when Thug wore dresses and called his boys bae was now being forced to reckon with how blurred the lines really are in the industry. Whatever the case, one thing was clear. By allegedly exposing others, Thug may have created enemies not just in his personal life, but in the very rap community that once crowned him a star. Because now, the scandal isn't just about a cheating boyfriend embarrassing his girlfriend. It's about loyalty codes being broken, industry reputations on the line, and the possibility that a handful of the most powerful rappers in Atlanta could find themselves caught in the same storm. And for Mariah, that means she's no longer just the woman humiliated by her man's side antics. She's now entangled in a bombshell that has the power to shake the entire hip-hop world. At first, Mariah the Scientist was the punchline of the story. Every TikTok, every meme, every shady thread made her look like the fool who wasted her prime years holding down a man that didn't respect her. But as the scandal snowballed, something shifted. The internet started seeing her less as the clown and more as the casualty. Sympathy began to creep in. Fans who once mocked her started pointing out the bigger picture. Here was a woman with undeniable talent, an R&B singer on the rise, whose entire brand and career were now being drowned out by her boyfriend's mess. Instead of being recognized for her music, for her voice, for her artistry, Mariah was being dragged into a firestorm she didn't start. Every interview request, every blog headline, every trending topic had nothing to do with her songs. It was all tied to Thug's leaks, his cheating, and now his alleged exposure of the Atlanta rap scene. It made her look trapped, stuck in a role she never auditioned for. The loyal girlfriend turned public victim. And in the industry, that can be career-killing. Because no matter how good her next single might be, fans and critics alike will hear it through the filter of betrayal and humiliation. On Twitter, the tone flipped. Instead of mocking, people began posting things like "Protect Mariah at all costs," and "She deserves better than this circus." Others argued that Thug had effectively stolen years from her prime, chaining her to his drama and leaving her to clean up the emotional mess. TikToks stitched clips of her old performances, where she sang about heartbreak and devotion, now reframed as eerie foreshadowing of the situation she's living through. It was heartbreaking to watch, the loyal ride-or-die who stood by her man, only to have her artistry overshadowed by his recklessness. And in that moment, the public narrative turned. The scandal was no longer just about Thug's betrayal. It was about Mariah's wasted loyalty, her stalled momentum, and the quiet tragedy of a young artist caught in the crossfire of someone else's chaos. What once made her look like a clown, now made her look like a woman silenced by love, trapped in a mess too big for her to escape. And here's the thing. If this is what's leaking now, what's still sitting in the vault? Because let's be real, these calls are only the tip of the iceberg. If we've already heard Thug clowning Kendrick, downplaying Glorilla, bragging about 10 women a day, and even hinting at exposing other Atlanta rappers, then what happens when the rest of those tapes see daylight? Who else is about to get dragged into this spiral? Fans are already whispering that more audio is on the way, that the streets are sitting on conversations too messy to even imagine. Are we about to hear him name names? Will more receipts prove Mariah wasn't just competing with women, but men too? And if Thug is willing to air out other rappers while sitting behind bars, who's to say this won't explode into a full-blown industry war? Mariah's humiliation, Thug's arrogance, the whispers about hidden relationships. It all feels like we're only halfway through the movie. Because every time a new clip drops, the story doesn't just grow, it mutates, pulling in new characters and raising new questions. And now, the biggest one of all is this. If the leaks so far have rocked Mariah's career, shifted public sympathy, and exposed cracks in Atlanta's rap elite, then what's the next bombshell waiting to blow? One thing's for sure, this story is far from over. And when the next tape drops, someone else's name might be on the line. So tell me in the comments, do you think the next leak will expose another woman or another rapper?